and welcome to As E Day Hot right here on Active Citizens. My name is Sharon Enemchuku, and joining me live in the studio as always, we have the beautiful Ifoma Oji. Good afternoon, how are you doing?
Good afternoon, Sharon.
Yeah, I told you in the morning you're looking like a sunflower.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, today we are talking about two things that have been shaking the social media. First, the EFCC says Yahoo boys are the reason Nigerians are facing tougher visa restrictions abroad. Second, a police PRO in Delta State by the name Bright Edafi is under fire after a video surfaced online showing him driving without a seat belt, and the internet is fuming. We are going to be taking these, but first of all, let's start with EFCC and their claims about the bad image that Yahoo boys are giving to Nigerians and invariably restricting our visa applications. And I'm just saying, comparing this to the politicians in Nigeria and even going as far as to the Canadian judgment that said that the APC and PDP parties in Nigeria are terrorist organizations, between the politicians and Yahoo boys, which party do you think poses a worse image of Nigeria abroad?
Okay, if I'm to compare the both, I'll say the politicians, because I mean they're supposed to be role models. I mean, they're supposed to set the standard as an example for others to emulate, for those Yahoo boys to emulate. So I'm not even surprised if the Yahoo boys, are going overboard. It's what their leaders are doing that they are, picking up. You understand? So yeah. So, but talking about the post or the news, the headline, once a country is being seen as a high, risks or fraudsters by other countries, I mean, it restricts a lot of things. Countries will start placing, some bans or restrictions, or even avoiding those people from getting to their country because of this. And there've been a lot of cases whereby, I think I remember the one of, is it the France, one woman from France, I think, is it 53-year-old woman from France? Then it was going viral on social media, and bitterly that she was scammed by someone. I don't know if they let her fished out the person, but according to her, she said the person actually disguised as an actor, an American actor. This is it Brad Tip or what? That he made her send some money and the rest of it, claiming that he was having cancer. He was diagnosed of cancer, so she sent the money across, and according to her, she said it was her life saving that she sent across. So you could see, and there've been so many incidents like that,
yes,
that sufficed online, and it's kind of, it waters down, and it's more like a mirror on how Nigerians, and not just that, these kind of things are being people have felt about this whole thing and have lamented, and countries have now seen that, okay, that these people are posing a great threat to their citizens. So because of that, they now brought about this law, is it law, or I mean EFCC trying to tell Nigerians, I mean, they should desist from such acts, because apart from that, there are still genuine people that go into the country to better their life or their future. It can be for business, it can be for work, it can be for schooling and the rest of them. So it's kind of, this whole thing is affecting the rest of them, and it is not nice at all.
You were even talking from the perspective of these foreigners now blaming or treating Nigerians differently, but this is a situation where the EFCC chairman has come out now to blame the Yahoo boys for the sort of image that we have abroad. And another question that is ringing in my head is how a nation can blame its youth for visa bans while its leaders are laundering public funds abroad. We've seen different cases of these court proceedings abroad where these people have been punished accordingly for the crimes that they have committed. You know, we saw the Wike house, that the Wike mansion that we saw recently. We've seen different cases of even people that are local rulers in Nigeria over here. But I'm just asking, why are they blaming? It seems as though now they are blaming solely these Yahoo boys. And of course I have a problem with the Yahoo boys and what they do and the image they paint of Nigerians abroad. I'm saying, why is it not balanced?
Exactly. The justice system in Nigeria is selective. We run a selective system in the sense that, I mean, you favor some people, the law favors some people and punishes the other person. But let's look at these Yahoo boys. How did they even emerge? Is it not as a result of the fact that a lot of them will, finish school, they'll go through the 4 walls of university, and coming out, there will be no job for them. They can't fend for themselves. So for them to, make ends meet, they, divert to a quick way of making money. And that is the thing that we are seeing now. If they were, the system was not bad, if the system is not in shambles, they won't, be doing this. They will find a decent job for themselves. It's because, I mean, it does not favor them. And the leaders that they are even lamenting to are not even listening to them. They pay deaf ears to them. So why won't they? It's not like I'm trying to, say that what they are doing is right. You get, but I'm telling you, what I'm trying to say is that they are being forced to engage in these fraudulent activities. Not that they willingly wanted to. If the system was favoring them, they wouldn't do that in the first place.
You know, I really think what you just said now is apt, because at the end of the day, these are people that came out, they were thrown into the labor market and there was nothing waiting for them. They told us that education is the key, but someone came out to say that our leaders have changed the padlock.
Exactly.
And I agree with that, because after spending 4, 5, 7 years in school as a result of ASU strike or the type of course you are studying, you come outside, you go for youth service, and you are thrown into the labor market. There is no job. The funny thing is that these jobs that are supposed to be given out on merit is by connection, who you know, and some even go as far as buying these jobs because they want it. What happens to people that can't afford this job? We are not saying that this is an excuse for social vices such as fraud. We are saying that what are the systems that have encouraged this for this long? What have the governments been doing in order to sort of curtail and cushion the dependency on fraud, for instance? And it's just really absurd that you would prick somebody in the dark and then come out in the open to shun the person. I just think at the end of the day, we have there's so much that we can do for the youth. There's so many things that we can offer back to the community, back to Nigerians as a whole. But another thing is that if you compare now, I'm still coming from the aspect of the image that we have, because the other day the president said that the reason for his multiple trips abroad is to restore the dignity of Nigeria on a global scale. Now my question is, when you are restoring this dignity on a global scale, that means these foreign investors are looking at you, these presidents of international communities are looking and watching you. Is it that they are blind to the governance failure, to the reports, the debts that we owe, the IMF reports that have been given, the number of percentage of people that are poor and impoverished in Nigeria? So when that is there, and the government or the president is saying now that he's trying to restore the dignity of Nigeria before the world, we now, with the kind of corrupt politicians that we have, how can we, or how can the president himself now claim to actively be working towards restoring that dignity?
I don't really know why he would say that. I remember that we really antagonized, during that time where he said there was no corruption, or that he's trying to restore dignity in Nigeria, whereby, I mean, we have cases whereby politicians loot Nigerians' money. So I'm like, I was saying then, if you want to restore dignity, why don't you start by punishing, the law offenders, the people that go against the law? Why don't you start by, reducing how many times you go on trips? I mean, why don't we see the results of your various trips? So I feel like if he wants to restore dignity, I mean, he should start by, implementing and enforcing, policies. Because if you see Nigeria here, we will enact laws, but we don't implement those laws, and we don't even abide by those laws.
Yes.
And it's not just that the citizens don't want to abide by the laws. Is it not where the leaders set, an example, yes, that others will follow? So I think the leadership or the dignity, trying to make us visible, or trying to say that you are restoring dignity, I think you should first of all restore your own dignity as a person, and your leaders, your cohorts as leaders, restore the dignity. Let them restore their own dignity as a person and as a government before it trickles down to the citizens.
All right, I like that you also said that. And now we see the the FCC chairman said is actually true. When you go up, when you're trying to travel abroad, it seems that our passport is, anybody with the Nigerian passport is treated differently. When you show your green passport, it's not the same way they treat an American person with their passport as well. Now I'm asking, if the West is now restricting Nigerian visas, are they reacting to Yahoo boys or failed leadership in Nigeria?
I think the Yahoo boys is an example, or embodies, failed leadership. That is what it is. Because if the leadership in Nigeria was something to, speak good of, I don't think there should be any emergence of, Yahoo boys and the rest of all those, fraudsters. So I think it's them reacting to the bad leadership, the policies in Nigeria. You get, not even those people. Because if the home is good, is in stable condition, then whatever is out there is supposed to be.
Yes, and that is so right, Ifoma, because I'm just saying, I mean, why is it that politicians that have been accused of stealing national funds go outside to represent Nigeria for international summits, right? We are talking about protecting our brand image, or our image as a nation. But these people that have criminal records that are yet to be settled, and it's as though when you enter a certain party, like the ruling party, all of your sins are forgiven. But immediately you defect to another party, then they remember. And the EFCC has been dragged, especially recently, for not being an independent body as it should be, trying to address the issue of fraud and money laundering in Nigeria. But now they just seem to be going after petty fraudsters. I'm not even saying that is not good, because these people are committing a crime whether we like it or not. I'm just saying on a huge scale, or in the big scheme of things, these people are just crayfish when it comes to people that are really looting funds, people that have borrowed money endlessly, and we have not seen the result of where this money is going into, or the benefits we have gotten from these loans. And I also think that the EFCC has, when we're talking about the reforms that we need to see now, I think they also need a reorientation, sort of, because the way they treat Nigerian youths, as though every single Nigerian young guy or youth is a fraudster, is alarming. They are blinded to the fact that there are so many things to do with a laptop, that you can be a graphic designer, you can be a photographer, you can be a content creator. All of these possibilities do not exist, not just in the minds of the EFCC, but in the minds of the police force and the army as well, because the way they treat these people when they see them on the road is really alarming. And to think that even after NSAS protests years ago, and after NSAS protests and how we campaigned and we protested against the police brutality and all of that, especially against the youth, in 2025, we still see these things happening. And I'm just saying to the AFCC, if they want to be taken seriously, they should start from the big fish. They should start from Aso Rock and then trickle down to other aspects like the Yahoo boys, so that these people can know that if this thing can happen in Aso Rock, it can as well happen to them, and justice will be meted out appropriately. So that's just my take on that. And I'm going to move on to the next story, and this is also another situation of pot calling kettle black, because these same police officers, when you see them on the road, you just by mistake do not have you don't have your license or a very important particular, they would disgrace you publicly before they even take you to the station after they have extorted you. So there's a trending video of this person. This is the PRO, the police PRO in Delta State, Bright Edafe, where he posted the video. That's the funny thing. He used his hand to expose himself, where he was vibing to a song, I think from Kiss Daniel, and he was driving, but he was not putting on his seatbelt. Now, an activist has called for his arrest immediately. We are going to be taking some comments on X before we take our personal opinions. Let's just have a feel of what Nigerians are saying on X, because at the end of the day, a lot of youth will relate to the fact that when they see you, especially road safety, right, when you are not wearing or putting on your seatbelt is an entirely different ball game altogether. And to now see that the PRO in the police PRO in Delta State was defaulting that, and he was doing it so relaxed and carelessly, it means that this is something that he does on a norm. But anyways, we'll take a look and come back to the studio. Anyways, Ria Design says, now wow, people can't just stand to see a police officer happy. If they arrest him for not using seat belt and the matter gets out of hand, who will feed his family? You people should rest, abeg. Leave a happy man alone and face your problems. All right, the energy goddess says, someone who is supposed to be the face of the police force, clearly defaulting road safety rules. Exactly, I get that. Sulek says, officer of the law committing the same offense he accuses others of. Nobody is above the law. Let investigations commence immediately. Keylock says he committed 2 offense violations. No seatbelt, using a phone while driving. Arrest him now. Okay, this is interesting. Maverick says, even as a high-ranking police officer, the urge to be seen is so obvious in a society where millions of souls are voiceless. But I don't know, because someone also made a comment here saying that he was just trying to have a good time, and with the way they are pressing on for his arrest, it seems as though he has offended this activist before, or he has done something in the past before. Do you think that him not wearing his seatbelt warrants him to be prosecuted?
Yes.
Okay.
Because according to the road safety, act or their law, they kind of stipulated or they mandated that everyone who is driving must put on their seatbelt. So it is a clear violation of that law. And the lady, the activist, her demand is not, far-fetched. The only thing she's talking about is not really about seatbelts, but it's about the justice system in Nigeria. Because why will a PRO, somebody that is supposed to be a role model, somebody that others are supposed to emulate from, be, define the law? You understand? He is supposed to be a flag bearer of how the rules are supposed to be enforced in Nigeria. And this set of persons, they have this way of harassing Nigerians when these people, when you see somebody that, is not putting on seatbelts, you see the way they harass those persons. Yeah. You understand? And I am like, you harass people, but at the same time, those things that you harass people of is the same thing that you are found wanting at. It is that same justice system. So I think what she's trying to say is that, even the law stipulates that nobody is above the law, everybody is equal before the law. So why is it that you cannot punish the persons that, go against the law? Why is it that you punish those people that even though they are little infractions, you punish those ones? Why not punish the punishment starting from those top officials?
So you don't think that this is going overboard? You don't think that he
I don't think
disciplined?
I don't think if you see you are in Nigeria with me, you see the way they treat ordinary civilians because of maybe they didn't drive in the right lane or anything like. You see the way they harass them. So it should be the same thing.
So I feel like what Nigerians are doing, they're using him as scapegoats.
Yes, if you want
for everything that's
if you want to enforce law, I think you should embody that law. They should stand in place of that institution. You get, not breaking the law and then punishing people that break the law. It does not make any sense to me.
All right. So now what I'm getting is that this is not a personal issue against Bright Daffy. This is just Nigerians now coming to say the police has constantly harassed people on the road when they even as much as flought a single road safety rule, even though that's not their jurisdiction. And now the PRO in Delta State has done the same thing, and they are demanding equal level of punishment to be meted out to him as a result of that. Because now when I read some of the comments, is people were saying is as though this person has done something against this particular activist that has called for his arrest, or he has done something in the past that they are now dragging him out for, because he has taken down the video, and we are yet to see any other message, maybe an apology or whatever. But people, the funny thing is that it's you know, consensus. It's a consensus. A lot of Nigerians are asking for his arrest, and I'm just realizing now that they are using him as a scapegoat for every police. He's a symbol. He's a symbol of every police officer that has harassed an average Nigerian. Now, do you think that this shows the disconnect between law and public responsibility?
Yes, there is a serious disconnect, because I mean, when you actually bring up, you know, rules like this, like I said, it's you're meant to abide by it.
Of course.
Others are meant to learn from you, so embody that rule. So when you don't do that, people will feel like you're not even, your credibility, it's being tainted, your reputation, you don't even have that moral, you know, grounds to even enforce law in the first place. So people can actually go ahead to, you know, what do they call it? People can actually go ahead to go against those laws, because in the first place you're not even abiding by the laws that you're setting for people. So it's a clear, you know, a disconnection from the citizens and the distant, because I mean, they are supposed to be accountable for the law that you know, they enact.
Of course, and that is how it should be in a normal society. Now, you know, this is the PR of police that has done this. Do we think that the police is going to investigate one of their own or bury the case?
I am actually seeing them burying the case.
Of course.
This is Nigeria.
This is Nigeria.
They will definitely bury the case. There've been a lot of cases whereby, I mean, the police harassing, you know, civilians or citizens, and they go unpunished. Most cases is on rare cases, maybe when the public starts, you know, protesting, more protest, outcry, and then you now see them maybe responding, giving the person maybe like how many months suspension, and from that suspension the person will return back. Yes, the person will return back to work, and you will not hear anything again about it. So
now you mentioned something. This only happens in the situation where maybe the video goes viral, like this one has. Now, what is the role of social media in exposing lawlessness? Because it seems as though recently they have been trying to clamp down on social media usage in Nigeria.
Social media is basically, you know, setting that agenda, bringing those crimes to limelight for people to see. This is the kind of crime that these people commit, and it goes unnoticed. So I think social media has actually been a great tool to exposing those impunity of those, you know, the government and its leaders. You understand? It has really played a vital role. And if there was nothing like the emergence of social media, I don't think we will even know that crimes like this exist, or they can easily bury it under the, you know, under the knife or under the cupboard, because I mean, it does not, people don't know about it. And this one is even little compared to other cases, other incidents that happen on the road on a daily basis. This one, we are just seeing little. It's just a mere video, and this one is as if God and Satan is even punishing the man, because he used his hands. So yes, his hands to.
That's why I said he's very comfortable in that.
Yes, and what I don't really understand is the fact that he was so happy. He was, you know,
of course he was
vibing to song, and forgetting the fact that he is a PRO. He is a public figure. So yes, Nigeria has every right. Yes, Nigeria has every right to, you know, agitate. It is that type that they can even see, they've seen the evidence themselves, like they don't even need to start investigating much. The man provided the evidence. So Nigerians will cruise on it.
So you're saying that Nigerians are going to be paying very close attention to how this case is being handled.
Exactly. It's more like a message. It's equally a message to, you know, that the police institution.
Yes.
they need to know that in whatever they are doing, however they go about, carrying out their responsibilities, that Nigerians are watching.
Yes.
And most of the times, they are the ones that will even expose themselves. You know the other day that we were talking,
the army that were counting money.
Yes, not just that, even the how many millions?
22.2 million on biscuits.
I think we even saw a new one, 8 million on milk.
Yes.
So they keep on exposing themselves, and Nigerians are seeing that.
You know, at the end of the day, you can't hide the truth for so long. You can only hide the truth for so long. So it's going to rear its head one day or the other. At the end of the day. Now, I just love the fact that, first of all, he was the one that implicated himself, because they will come out and tell you that you didn't have the right to come and publish such content and something, but he did this himself. And at the end of the day, we are seeing this is one of the benefits we enjoy from social media, that you can just be on your own evidence to just come and meet you. Chakam, this is it. There's no need to go and investigate or search. And there's something else that you said. You said that one thing that baffled you is how he was so happy. And I'm saying that the only reason that he would be that comfortable in making that video is that this is something that he's used to.
Yes, if it's not, he gets away with.
Yes, this is not the first time, it's not the second time, it's not the third time. And so he did that, and his mind was totally in the new music or whatever it is he was, maybe where he was going to. He was going to go get food.
I was actually vibing with it.
And I like the song though. I like it. It's not bad together. So I just think he got lost in the moment, and this happened. This just goes to show that there probably has been situations or scenarios where he has stopped somebody on the road for not wearing their seatbelt. And we don't know how many of these rules that they break behind closed doors. This is just one that we're fortunate enough to see. Exactly. What were you saying?
No, it's the same thing we are talking about. And this one is not even like he's just an ordinary, police. This one is like he is the PRO. You understand? So we are like a whole PRO implicating himself like this. What example is he equally setting to other people that are probably on the road? Because we are seeing cases of policemen collecting bribes or how much from drivers and the rest of them. In when you ask them, they will be like, how much are they being paid?
Am I the one that employed you?
Exactly, that they need to feed their family and the rest of. We understand that.
I don't understand anything. I'm not the one that
we understand the fact that the system underpays them. The people that employ them underpays them. But at the same time, I think that collecting arms from people or doing such acts is actually cool. It is not cool at all, and it equally goes a long way to show the just like I said before, the justice system. I think Nigerians, it's high time Nigerian government do better. We already have the laws that are already in the system, so why don't we go ahead to enforce those laws? This person is actually supposed to be punished. For me, I think he owes the public a serious apology, and not just that, the police institution, he owes them an apology, and he should be prosecuted.
He should be prosecuted for that. Yes. He can be prosecuted for that.
He should be prosecuted.
Anyways, I hear you loud and clear.
He should set an example for others.
Yes, you should be setting the examples that we follow. But you mentioned something that now that we have seen that he does this now mean that everybody on the road they will not be able to pay attention or to heed warnings of wear your seatbelts and all? But I'm just coming to tell everybody that is watching, you own a car, you are in a car, you are in the passenger seat, please put on your seatbelt. It is not just because the PRO tells you to do so, or the law says you should do so, or road safety laws and rules and regulations. This is for your own life and your benefit. It's your life you are protecting. Because
to avoid harassment.
Because another thing, yes, not just avoiding harassment, right, should be secondary. The major thing is to secure your life, because sometimes they tell us to do something and we don't understand why they tell us to do that thing, and I think we need to understand why some of these rules and laws are given in the first place. Because saying, I'm trying to avoid being harassed, because there's something that I've noticed some people do. I'm not saying I'm one of them. When you're on the road and you are not putting on your seatbelt, you see the road safety in front. Oh, put on your seatbelt now. Put on your seatbelt now. Yes, and that's not. You are not putting on your seatbelt for road safety. It's for your safety at the end of the day. But last, we need people to lead by example. Anyways, thank you so much, Ifoma Oji, for doing this with me. Wonderful conversation as always, and to our VVIP viewers for always sticking with us. We see your likes, your comments, and your shares, and I'm encouraging you to continue doing so, as we really, really appreciate it. If you're yet to follow us across all social media platforms, what are you waiting for? Go do that right away. Follow us on all social media at Active Citizens. Also subscribe to our YouTube page if you're yet to do so. Find me across all social media at Sharon NMChuku. Ifoma.
You can find me on Facebook at Oji Sophia and on Instagram at Misulex.
All right, till we see you this evening for our special edition interview with the gubernatorial candidate for Anambra in person of Chioma D. Ife what? Ife Meludike, exactly. Do have a good afternoon.